The one thing I wanted to save this question for last, because whenever I have someone on where I'm talking about sustainability, I feel like it gets to this point, and so I always want to address it. Is the answer not at the end of the line that there are just too many of us? That like there's just so many, like the population is just so out of control. It's still going up. We have this pro-natalist sort of society we live in that is it's not, if you don't decide to have kids, then there's something wrong with you. If it like we're slowly moving the needle a little bit, but like there's fucking too many of us everywhere. Like is that not it?
Thank you for bringing this up. This is the not dirty little secret, but it's the taboo subject that nobody wants to talk about. So in Sustainability for the Rest of Us,
Right.
I have a section on big sustainability myths, these things that we think are making a difference that probably aren't, and then sort of, going in that direction. And I asked the question, and this is a spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read it. Uh, what is the one thing you can do to really save the planet? What's the number one thing? Is it recycling? Is it, not taking your private jet to go get the mail like the Kardashians do? All of those things are great, but at the end of the day, the number one thing that we can all do is have fewer children. I'm not starting the John Pabon eugenics program. I'm not saying no kids. I'm saying one fewer child per family makes such a difference. And of course it does, because we're resource intensive animals. We're like they said on, what was it? It was The Matrix, where they say we're sort of a cancer in a lot of ways on society because we take, and we don't give. And it's true. And the stats back it up, where over the course of one's lifetime, if you're not on this earth, you're using a lot fewer resources than if you are and you're going vegan, if you are and you don't drive, if you are and you don't travel.
Right.
Obviously, because there's one fewer human being. So, yes, the one thing that we should be doing is having fewer children. The one solution to this all is to stop having kids and to stop repopulating the earth. Now, within the context of that, and to frame it a bit, we're talking from, I'm in Australia, you're in Spain, we're both, from North America, so we're in a privileged position where we can say that. In parts of the developing world, that's not the case. It's very, very different. And I think with all things sustainability, we have to be very careful to separate what goes on in the developed traditional North and the developing or the global South. And this is where this idea of intersectionality comes into sustainability, which is not really a thing we talk about too much, but that the impacts of climate change and the need for sustainability and building a better future are going to affect different people around the world in different ways, different groups of people and segments in different ways, and then our responsibility, depending where we are in the world and what class we're in and all of these sort of factors, what we do to save the planet is also going to be very different. It's going to look very different. So we cannot expect, and this is to one of the points you raised earlier, we cannot expect people in India to be contributing to saving the planet as much as we can somebody that's sitting in a villa in Malibu, right? It's very different things
Right.
because they're at different stages of, the countries are at different stages of human development. So we cannot expect everybody to be contributing to this fight equally. That doesn't mean that it gets anybody off the hook of doing their part. Everybody needs to do their part, but that's going to look very, very different. So if your part is having one fewer child, please do, because that is going to go so far to helping everybody else out. Thank you for bringing that up. That is something that
Right.
we don't talk about very often, but it's so true.